simply can't let your child go out alone in this world. This world we live in, if you do, you see what happens.
She went to the concert alone?
She was with friends. They let her go off by herself. Didn't see a thing.
Which should have been fine, since she has the child-safe implant.
So when Erin was abducted, how did you find out?
Her friends called and said that they couldn't find her, so we activated the system.
And I got a damn error message. ChildSafe promises to locate your lost child. They guarantee it. She's with some maniac for 2 hours, and I get an error message.
But we do know that your daughter still has the implant.
Oh, the system's back online. If you wanted to, you could track her right now to this hospital room.
Just thank God she managed to escape.
How did you escape, Erin?
He stopped the van and left me alone while he went to the bathroom.
She could have bled to death.
I want you guys to sue this company for so much damn money, it puts them out of business.
You were bleeding?
The man who took her, he must have known that the system would come back on.
Eventually.
So he tried to find her chip and cut it out.
There's nothing more precious than a child. But in the blink of an eye, your child can be gone. We at ChildSafe give parents the comfort and security of knowing where their child is at all times through the safe and simple implantation of a GPS locator biochip. Our microscopic GPS device is injected into the infant's bloodstream and finds its way to a spot inside the body known only to ChildSafe. You won't even know it's there until you need to. Just activate the system with your personal code, and ChildSafe will display your child's location on an easy-to-understand map. Why live with fear when ChildSafe can help?
Well, you get the idea. So this is a promise the company makes. And when it breaks that promise, it's a breach of warranty. It's grounds for legal action.
ChildSafe is avoiding responsibility, just like cigarettes and handguns in the good old days.
Right. We'll ask for $50 million.
50? Ask for 100 at least.
Oh, come on now. You ask for too much, you risk losing sympathy.
Now, Marty, you have to think of this like a smoke detector that failed or an airplane crashed. See, I wonder if $50 million's enough.
Exactly.
My niece was abducted in a theme park. They changed her hair color and her clothes. My sister was standing at the gates with the security guards watching for her, and she didn't even recognize her. If it hadn't been for the biochip, then her kidnappers would have gotten away with it.
See, abductions are down nearly 80%.
On balance, these chips are a good thing.
Which might be the way a jury sees it.
Yeah, biochip can save your child's life. We know that. The point is, this one very nearly didn't.
Damages in amount of a suitably round number could be just a kick in the butt they need to fix things.
There.
Mr. McNeil? Mr. McNeil, he's already in breach of our prenuptial agreement, and we're not even married yet.
It's not true.
Lying is also prohibited by the agreement.
She's right, Dave. No, she's not. She's right, Dave. Gotcha. Okay, look, what clause exactly are we talking about?
That Mr. David Pappas will not exchange more than 5 sentences in any given calendar week with cute blondes between the ages of 25 and 35 and between 5'3" and 5'6" who enjoy 19th century French literature, mountain biking, and esoteric cheese, where this marriage is automatically null and void.
How could I possibly have forgotten that one?
Sweetie, this is all in your imagination.
It's not my imagination.
I don't flirt with them. They flirt with me. What am I supposed to do, be rude?
So, I'm to understand that you're a chick magnet?
Some research for you on the Kaczynski case, Mr. McNeil?
Thanks. Look, let's not... Is there something else?
Excuse me, I just noticed your volume of Baudelaire.
Oh, my God. It's sad.
Are you okay? Sir. Dave, you mind telling me what's going on here, buddy? I think the no blondes clause is kind of a gimme, okay? If you can't even live up to that, you might want to rethink the whole marriage deal entirely, buddy. It's not that simple. Listen to me, pal. Breach of a marriage contract in this day and age is a really big thing, okay? A judge could give her everything you have.
You're not a mountain biker, are you?
Ah, for the love. I'll call you later and explain. I taught him everything he knows about mountain biking.
What a loser.
Make no mistake, the company is sympathetic. ChildSafe was founded to prevent exactly this kind of heartache.
You don't want to back up that sympathy with some zeros, do you? And sympathy and liability are two different matters.
ChildSafe doesn't fail, Mr. Montero. It's that simple.
Especially not the new system.
When the PACEs upgraded to Child Watch 5 years ago, Erin got a new implant, even better than the old one.
Child Watch?
Mind if I use your screen? This is a live feed from Erin's current location, probably a security camera on her high school campus. The company realized if you could coordinate the GPS location provided by the implant with surveillance cameras already in place throughout the city,
you'd be able not just to find your child when you needed to, in time of danger,
but to watch your child whenever you wanted, wherever they are.
And the PACEs have this Child Watch system.
We've sold hundreds of thousands of upgrades. The company figures inside a generation basically will be the way kids grow up.
Being watched all the time.
ChildSafe has been sued dozens of times in the last 5 years. How come if the system never fails?
Stating the obvious. There's one vulnerability in every technical system, which is the human element.
There are guys out there who will temporarily jam the signal, probe around, find the chip, and cut it out.
Back alley de-chippers exploiting these kids, and then the parents sue us.
Wait. You're not saying that Erin participated in her own abduction, are you?
That's why we settled these cases the way we did. We didn't admit liability, but frankly, we're not eager to publicize it. And a lot of copycat teenagers wind up like...
You better talk to your client.
Gelling was asking me to stay on task.
Can you bring those tablets?
I'm not trying to catch you. How do you turn this thing off? We're on your side here.
Oh, my side?
Yes.
So you're my lawyers.
Yes. We just need to know what happened.
My very own personal lawyers. Does that mean that I have rights?
ChildSafe company's gonna come up with reasons, excuses for why the system didn't work.
Whatever. I'm safe now. Isn't that the whole point? Let's just drop the whole thing.
Phone call. I'll take it outside.
Look, you can't be happy that no one was able to find you that night? That you have these scars all over your body?
Let's just forget about it. Get on with the festival of life.
Ramos puts it back into play on the outside. Left winger bringing it down the side. In close, a shot on goal. No, wide left.
I think we should just come out with it.
Come out with what?
Erin, the ChildSafe company suggested that you might be partly responsible for what happened the other night.
I don't want to talk about it.
Were you?
I don't want to talk about it here.
What's going on? I thought you guys just needed some information.
Is there a camera here? Where's the camera? Is it
What do you
over
mean,
there?
where's the camera?
Do you always watch your daughter when she's in her room?
It's none of your business.
Yes.
Erin, don't start.
He always watches me. They watch me everywhere, with my friends, with my boyfriend. This implant, it hooks up to cameras all over the city. They watch everything. Is that okay? You're lawyers, you're human beings.
It's perfectly legal and has nothing to do with this case.
Everywhere, always. I can't live, I can't breathe.
It is my job to protect you, Erin.
Protect her from what, though?
Life? Why would I want one?
Okay, that's it. You guys, out of here.
Erin, did you hire someone to take that chip out? Is that what happened?
Is that true, Erin?
Yes.
Why?
Why? Why won't somebody help me? Why won't you help me?
This is over for you. We're obviously dropping the case.
No!
That's all right. We have a new client.
you took the case. Why? In case you get back into politics, you want the lock on the kiddie boat?
It's a good case.
What makes it good?
Because she's right.
You are new to the practice of law, Congressman.
Look, eavesdropping, hidden cameras. I lived with that crap for 14 years when I was in office. Guys going through my garbage. It nearly drove me crazy. God knows what it would do to a 15-year-old kid.
She might even do something stupid like fake her own kidnapping.
But that's the point, isn't it? Teenagers do stupid things. Parents have to protect them from...
From what?
The same stupid things they did when they were teenagers.
Am I the only one here in search of actual paying clients?
It's a test case. The child advocacy groups will pony up. I think he's onto something.
Look, a curfew's one thing, okay? You stay out late and you're grounded. You get caught speeding, you lose your driving privileges. But this is, well, it's un-American.
Sounds to me like she found the right lawyer.
There's an obvious conflict of interest here. The plaintiff's attorneys were brought into this case to represent the people that they're suing.
Erin was always our client.
Paying you how? Out of her lunch money?
We were engaged by Erin's parents to represent Erin, not them.
So you're suing them instead?
It's illegal under federal and state statutes to conduct this kind of surveillance. Parents can consent to the surveillance on behalf of their minor children, but only if it's in the best interest of the child.
And who says you get to decide instead of the child's parents?
Justice Brandeis. He called it the right to be left alone, the most comprehensive of all rights, the one most valued by civilized men. Olmsted v. U.S., 1928. As a society, we've decided how we feel about this kind of pervasive surveillance. Why should it not apply to a teenager?
There's a well-established parental exemption. I'm allowed to spank my own child. If I spank a stranger, that's assault.
Unless it rises to the level of child abuse.
If parents can consent to surgery, certainly they can consent to surveillance.
The only living things that are GPS chipped anymore, Your Honor, besides children, are ex-convicts, insects, and pets. Now, Erin's not exactly the family dog. She's a human being.
Where does this end? Children and adults have different rights for a reason. We don't let kids carry guns.
Yes, Mr. Getting, children have different rights, but they don't have no rights. The defendant's motion to dismiss is denied. We're going to trial.
Your Honor, so that we can confer freely with our client, we ask that all surveillance be turned off for the duration of the proceedings. We need to be able to have private conversations. Otherwise, our client's likely to be intimidated.
Do these surveillance feeds have audio?
Generally not.
There must be 50 different lip-reading programs on the market.
So mumble.
Thanks for seeing me again. I'm just,
Catnip to the ladies. I know. What can I tell you, pal? We all got our crosses to bear.
It's not me. It's this.
You're a dog. You haven't even turned off your mate finder yet?
That's the thing. I did turn it off. Even before I met Sally.
You gotta be kidding me. What, another one? Huh. Well, this one lives in Topanga and makes a slightly runny, unaged raw milk cheese from her own red dappled heifers. That cheese is definitely going to all the right places.
This has to stop.
Yeah. Well, get rid of your mate finder.
And leave my PDA at home, which happens to be my wallet, my phone, my ID.
No. I mean, call mate finder and tell them to cancel your service.
I have canceled it. It's Annie.
Annie?
My crazy ex-girlfriend, Annie. She's jealous that I'm getting married to Sally, and she's found a way to reactivate my old mate finder service.
If your ex-girlfriend really is hacking into your PDA, that constitutes electronic trespass under federal law.
Does that mean you can make her stop?
Of course we can make her stop, okay? Or we can slap her with a big fat harassment lawsuit and bleed her to death.
So we sue Annie?
No. First we threaten to sue Annie. It's cheaper for you.
Right.
How long have you known Erin Pace?
Ever since I became an academic counselor at North Hollywood Gifted Magnet School. About a year and a half.
Have you ever had to deal with her on disciplinary matters?
Discipline? No, not Erin.
She doesn't get in trouble at school?
Well, she did lead a boycott of the cafeteria for serving meat from chickens raised in inhumane conditions.
Your Honor, are we going to have a chicken testify as to Erin's character next? What is the relevance of this?
Thompson v. Delaney. Erin's parents can only consent to surveillance on her behalf if it is objectively reasonable to believe that Erin requires such surveillance. This witness can testify as to Erin's behavior.
Overruled.
Can you think of any reason Erin Pace needs to be watched?
You might learn a thing or two from her by watching. She's very intelligent.
Thank you.
So, in all the time you've known Erin, she's never exhibited any bad behavior?
That's right.
Were you aware that all the time you've known Erin, she's been under surveillance?
Are you suggesting that this surveillance is responsible for Erin's good behavior?
There's a thought.
Objection, argumentative.
Withdrawn. Nothing further.
That lawyer my parents hired, he's kind of a jerk. My poor teacher.
Oh, well, she'll be fine. She actually did you so good.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
This is kind of hard for me.
Really? Well, have a spring roll. Life will look a lot better.
Listen, I want to thank you for helping me out like this.
Oh, well, I was 15 once too, you know.
Yeah, but it's hard to believe you ever did anything wrong. You seem so
What?
coiffed.
Yeah, well, when I was your age, I wasn't so coiffed, okay? In fact, I was actually quite rough around the edges. Come on. Okay, thank you.
Can't believe I'm gonna have to testify.
Oh, look, that's not going to be that hard, all right? I just want you to be yourself, okay?
Will you tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, I hate my parents.
Okay, that little tidbit, you should probably keep to yourself. This is ridiculous.
I thought the judge said that we were gonna be able to talk in private.
Well, I'm going to have to get the shut-off code.
What's that?
A shut-off code? I was a teenage hacker with very neat hair. There's always a shut-off code.
Should I bike? Bought a bike years ago. I think it's in storage. I don't want to bike. Biking hurts.
You're wonderful.
Thank you, Bhakti. It's very sweet of you to say. But the simple fact is that guy Dave is getting like way hotter chicks than me. Okay, that's just wrong. That just violates the natural order.
Am I interrupting?
What's up?
Dave's ex-girlfriend Annie's in the lobby with her lawyer.
This is ridiculous. I don't know why Dave would even suggest something like that.
So you deny reactivating the mate finder?
Dave, look, I haven't even thought about Dave in over a year. Why? Has he met someone?
Yeah, he's getting married.
Oh, maybe I had heard that. To a sort of sturdy, dour, dun-haired woman, isn't that right?
This can go easy, or this can go hard. If we go to court and get a restraining order against you, everything's going to come out in the laundry. So why don't you just fess up, and we can all just move on.
But I have moved on. I'm not stuck on Dave. Bald, flaccid, bowling night Dave.
Look, you can't just sit here and threaten my client.
Annie, when you hack into a computerized device like the mate finder, you leave tracks, unless you're very, very good. And you, I'm kind of getting the idea here, very, very bad.
Flatterer.
So do you admit it now?
I admit nothing. Go ahead and take me to court. Let's see if Dave has the guts.
It's supposed to make me feel safe. I know that. It just makes me feel like nothing. I feel like I don't exist. I just want to be able to have an opinion in the cafeteria without being interrogated. Or flirt with a boy without my mom grilling me about whether I'm having sex with him.
Objection. How Ms. Pace feels not relevant.
Under Thompson v. Dulaney, we're trying to establish that the abridgment of Erin's privacy rights is not in her best interest, which includes her emotional health and well-being.
Overruled. Go on, Mr. Montero.
Erin, what will you do if the surveillance is turned off?
I don't know. Nothing special.
Well, you must have thought about it. In 3 years, you're 18, and at that point, your parents will have to stop watching.
No, I have thought about it. I think about it all the time.
And what are those thoughts?
I don't want to say.
Why not?
Because that's the only part of me that they can't watch or listen to. My thoughts. My dreams. That's the only thing I have that really belongs to me. Just to me.
I'll respect that. No further questions.
Miss Pace, don't you think that your family has good reason to worry about you?
I'm not saying I shouldn't ever worry.
A 15-year-old girl who faked her own kidnapping. Erin, did you ever have any suicidal impulses?
No.
It's a fair question, given what happened. Never any thoughts about ending it all?
No.
The defense would like to introduce into evidence the contemporaneous notes of Erin's psychiatrist.
Objection. Those documents are clearly inadmissible under doctor-patient privilege.
The parents have a right of access to their children's psychiatric records. These documents belong to the Paces.
I'll allow it.
Sometimes I think about ending it all. Did you say that?
I don't remember.
Let me refresh your recollection. If you wouldn't mind, would you read that for us?
I feel like I'm letting everyone down. My parents are disgusted with me. Everyone expects me to go through life with this smiley face and be Miss Perfect. The truth is, I can't remember the last good day I had. Sometimes I think about ending it all.
Now, do you remember?
Yes.
You said that.
Yes.
Your private thoughts. Teenagers say things like that all the time. Only sometimes they mean it. They really do want to end it all. As a parent, how can you tell the difference? You listen. You watch.
You should have told me.
What does it matter?
You have a job here too, you know. It's called no surprises.
Let's just drop it. I don't even care anymore.
Well, what if I don't want to drop it?
Why?
Because I'm not going to drop it.
Well, you're gonna lose. It's pretty obvious.
Oh, really? Well, where I come from, those are the only ones worth winning.
Look, I just want to go somewhere where I can disappear. Someplace like the Yukon or the Amazon rainforest. Someplace they can't find me.
Were you ever really going to kill yourself?
Nobody in that courtroom cares what I think or what I meant.
We're not in that courtroom. This is just you and me.
That's the whole point of going to a shrink. You can tell him stuff like that and he won't freak out about it.
That's good to hear.
Don't tell me you're worried about me.
Whether she meant it or not, those words are in the record now. Nobody's gonna blaze a trail for privacy rights and wind up with a dead girl in their hands.
Good point. But look at the statistics. The rates of suicide are significantly higher for kids whose parents have this child-safe upgrade.
You have that data?
A professor at UCLA did a study.
Probably inadmissible.
I know that, Lucas, but it shows us a way to go. This is a good kid. I'm sure she has problems, but the study says so do a lot of kids whose parents use this system. She's not crazy. They're driving her crazy. And she didn't mutilate herself. She tried to get the damn thing out. I mean, wouldn't you?
So the fact that she wants to end it all proves that she shouldn't be watched.
Right.
And you're going to prove that?
Sure, no problem. Mrs. Pace, why did you decide to place your own daughter under 24-hour surveillance?
Erin has problems. And the terrible thing is now everybody knows that. The last thing I wanted to do was to stigmatize my own child in this way.
But when you signed up for the Child Watch upgrade, did Erin have any problems, in your words?
She was 10 years old when the upgrade became available. She was just a normal, happy fifth grader.
Oh, well, if she was normal and happy, then why'd you buy the upgrade?
Because we want to be able to be aware of her daily life and all the decisions that she's making. We just wanted all the information.
Even when it does more harm than good.
Objection. Argumentative.
Sustained. Mrs. Pace, what are Erin's problems?
I'm not making this up. You heard what she said to the psychiatrist.
She's depressed. I'll stipulate to that. Yet she talks to her doctor about suicide. Any actual suicide attempts?
Not, no. Thank God, no.
Not yet? Is that what you meant to say?
We live with this every day.
You mean the suicide attempt that exists in your imagination?
Objection.
Proceed.
What other problems does she have? Has she ever used drugs?
No, but if you ask me, it's because she knows that we'll find out about it.
What else? Sex?
Yes, actually, that's one of my worries. I don't think she's emotionally prepared for it.
Has she in fact had sex?
That would depend on what you mean by sex.
So you watch that too? So Erin doesn't have problems. She has one problem. She's depressed. Why?
Objection. The witness isn't a psychiatrist. Her opinion.
I'll allow it.
She takes everything very hard.
Did you happen to listen to the rest of what Erin told her psychiatrist and the evidence that was introduced yesterday?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
I feel like I'm letting everyone down. My parents are disgusted with me. True?
I don't know why she would feel this way. We've always been incredibly proud of her.
Could it possibly be because we won't trust her to be on her own for 5 minutes?
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained.
Yes,
I'm sorry?
and not just because of the surveillance. Every step she took. If she ever stumbled, we were always there to help her, to catch her, to shield her from any disappointment, to smooth her way. But now I can see how she's suffering because life isn't like that. There is disappointment and rejection and hurt. But what am I supposed to do? What do you expect me to do? Just stop protecting her all of a sudden? I can't do that. She wouldn't survive. We made these mistakes. But how we cope as a family and how we cope with helping Erin through this is none of your business.
Nothing further.
I used the mate finder service when I was single. You know, single. I met a few women.
Including the defendant?
Yes.
Dave, would you characterize that as a good relationship?
Yes, the sex with Annie was...
compelling. A compelling relationship, you might characterize it.
Yes, compelling, but I don't want to settle.
And that's when you met your fiancée, Sally.
The mate finder matches you with what is supposed to be your type, but when I met Sally, who is definitely not my type, we met the old-fashioned way at a barbecue. I never thought that a girl like her would ever be interested in a guy like me.
But then your mate finder mysteriously reactivated?
Correct. It began sending me...
More girls like that Annie?
Yes. I canceled the service. Then it started up again, and then again, and again.
Oh, that must have been annoying.
It was awful. Sally has threatened to cancel the wedding, which is exactly what Annie wants. I just want to marry Sally. She means everything to me.
No further questions, Your Honor.
So, you don't want to settle, huh?
Nope.
Mr. Pappas, you hate it when the mate finder gets turned back on, so you say.
I do.
Isn't there anything about it that you like?
No.
But you dated this type of woman for years, successfully, using the mate finder. Not even a twinge of the old hubba.
No.
Because you and Sally fight about it.
Yes.
Like cats and dogs.
Yes, very violent arguments.
Makes her jealous.
Yes.
Well, that part of it you must like.
No, I don't.
Huh. Know a lot about computers, Dave?
It's a hobby of mine.
Oh. Somebody once told me that when you hack into a computerized device like the mate finder, you leave tracks. Unless you're very, very good. And if you're really, really good, you make those tracks look like someone else's. Dave. Isn't it true that you're the one who hacked into the mate finder to keep turning it back on?
No.
That you made it look like Annie when in fact it was you?
No.
He's lying.
I am not.
He always fiddles with his tie when he's lying.
Aha.
God.
No further questions.
Dave, you're still in love with Annie, aren't you?
It's not true. I love Sally.
Well, if you love Sally so much, then why do you keep going out with all these other girls?
I have never gone out with a single one of them.
Dave Pappas, you hacked into and you reprogrammed your very own mate finder, didn't you?
Yes.
Why'd you do that?
It's not what it seems. When I'm out with Sally and these other girls come up to me, she gets jealous. Honestly, I'm just too scared that if it wasn't for these other women, she'd stop seeing me as Dave Pappas, glamorous chick magnet, and see me for who I am. Just Dave Pappas. And I'd lose the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Your Honor, we're dropping the case. You? We're not done.
You want to tell me what's going on?
Just getting some work done.
The Pacers just called. They want to know if Erin was here. They can't find her.
How is that possible?
What aren't you telling me? Is there a shut-off code for that child-safe system?
There's always a shut-off code.
Which I was stupid enough to point out to her.
Tom, did you give her the shut-off code?
Of course not. I'm not a complete idiot. Oh, damn it. She must have hacked it on her own.
The Pacers are trying to find Erin in a city of 400 square miles.
She has no reason to do anything crazy.
The wounds are still fresh from the last time she did something crazy.
There they are.
So, now you want to help us find her.
Why do you think she's here?
That boy that she's dating, he's a drug user.
High Q. Used to see this when I was in the DA's office.
Yes. Where? It's child safe. They located her.
She okay?
Santa Monica Pier.
Let's go.
What's the XTA say about this place?
Let's just keep looking.
What's that?
Erin? Erin!
We came to watch the sunset.
Now will you drop this lawsuit?
Why? She wanted to see the sunset with her boyfriend?
This time.
Dad, I just came to the beach.
Without telling anyone, scaring us to death.
Well, would you have let me come if I asked?
Erin, it's time to call this off. These lawyers, this lawsuit.
They're using you.
I'll see you tomorrow. In court. Let's go home.
Imagine living your life being watched. Every infraction is punished. Every opinion is questioned. Every association, every new friendship is vetted and evaluated by the authorities every single moment of every day. What totalitarian society is this? In our free country, it's hard to even imagine it. Yet this is life for millions of citizens who happen to be teenagers in a place called America, our free country. Over 100 years ago, Justice Brandeis called it the right to be left alone, the most comprehensive of all rights, the one most valued by civilized men. Now, why comprehensive? Because without the right to be left alone, our other freedoms that just don't mean much. What's freedom of speech without the privacy of quiet reflection? What's freedom of the press when the authorities check up on everything that you read? What's the right to vote without the secret ballot? What's childhood without the freedom to make your own mistakes? Who is Erin Pace? Who is she? Not the young woman on those surveillance videos, not who her parents think she is. Who is she? Well, the truth is we don't know that yet. But she has the right to grow up and discover that, alone, without anyone watching, by herself.
Our society does almost nothing to help families with children. And that job gets harder and harder. And it is a job. The law treats it as a job. If your kid goes off drunk driving and hits someone, you're legally liable. A parent is legally obligated to express concern over the personal well-being of their child, which means that you do your level best to get your kid to the age of 18 alive in one piece. And if you don't, you're breaking the law. Now, here's a couple. The Paces, they've taken on that job with, frankly, a very difficult child. And they've done their level best. Who'd have thought that our society would get to the point where that difficult child can drag her own parents into court? And on what basis? That they kept an eye on her? Isn't that what parents are supposed to do? Isn't that what parents are required to do? The ex-congressman likes to talk about America and freedom. What about the freedom for these hardworking parents to raise their own child in the way that they see fit?
This'll never work. Relax.
This better be good.
I signed you up for the maid finder. They all love gardening, landscape painting, and puttering around the house.
Why are you doing this?
Because I'm a sweetheart.
Supposed to close on this marriage contract so we can get paid.
Wow.
You interested in these guys?
No. Well, I might be.
You might be.
Well, Dave, what do you want me to say? I mean, I do have a pulse.
Fine. Guys, I bet most of these guys are smarter than me. They sure are better looking than me. Some of them. And maybe they're exactly your type and perfect for you. And well, if you're looking for perfect, Dave Pappas isn't it. But no one will ever love you more, or take better care of you when you're sick, or laugh exactly at all the same stupid stuff that you and I laugh about, or stick with you like I'll stick with you no matter what. You mean everything to me, Sally. Please marry me.
One of you kids hold that thought, and I'll go get the contract.
Have you reached a verdict?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
In the case of Pace versus Pace, the jury finds for the plaintiff, Erin Pace. The surveillance is to be turned off immediately. At the earliest convenience, the biochip is to be taken out. We are dismissed.
Well, time to go. You still live with us, right?
I'd like to walk if it's all right. There's a subway station not too far from here. I'll probably be home before you.
Just go. Take
Thanks.
care. Oh, you're free now.
Yeah. Thanks.
Why do I feel like I have to give you some piece of avuncular wisdom about mistakes and how we all make mistakes? We're guaranteed to make mistakes, you know. And when you do, you wear them like a badge. A stupider one's a better one because you survive them, you learn from them, and that's called growing up. And I don't know, does that qualify as wisdom? Because I'm just vamping here. So.
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Just be good.
I will.